In this video, I'm painting a new Death Korps model from Kill Team. Hello AOS fans, Robin here, and I'm back with another painting video for you. I haven't done a painting video for a very long time, bit of a new style. This one I've got myself a light box and I am painting one of the Death Korps Krieg models from the new Kill Team Octarius box set. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? This is a very quick and easy paint job. I reckon each miniature in this style takes between 15 to 20 minutes at the most. There's quite a lot of dry brushing involved. I haven't done very much dry brushing with painting for a long time, and I think I thought it was frowned upon. Actually, I found for certain things it's pretty useful, and I've kind of gone for a grungy look for the Death Korps to kind of tie into that sort of grim, dark trench warfare feel that they have. So dry brushing kind of lent itself to that style. So it's kind of greys and browns. I hope you like it. Like I said, it was really quick. I'm trying to come up with a quick and easy way of delivering a paint job for the Kill Team models. I had like a day to paint as much of them as I could to get them looking good for our battle report. So let me know what you think of this video. If you enjoy it, I could do more. I mean, I'm not the best painter. I will say that up front. This is not going to be like a master class in painting. This is purely how, really, basically, if you're not all that good at painting, this is a quick and easy way to paint some miniatures. That is kind of my style. So hopefully you enjoy it. If you are new to the channel, do like and subscribe and all that stuff. And so it's kind of broken down into how I paint. At the very end, I kind of do a few more extra tricks, but they're really very basic. I'm not a Duncan Rhodes or a Zoroaster or anything like that. But I do hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you soon on the Ages of Sigmar. Bye! Because I'm looking for a kind of grungy, grimdarky, in the trenches feel for the model, I've spray painted it black. It's just Chaos Black primer, just with the straight out of the can spray. This is quite a rough and ready paint job, but the advantage of going for this grungy look is that you can easily cover over your mistakes. One of the final steps is just a wash with some Agrax Earthshade, just a brown wash, and it kind of dirties everything down. So if you do make the odd mistake, it doesn't matter too much. You still get a great effect. The bases I've chosen to just do is sand and paint grey. So I've started with just a plain base and added a little bit of PVA glue. And after adding the PVA glue, I then stick on a couple of larger boulders. These are actually just aquarium rocks. There's just a couple on there. And then finally I sprinkle it with some sand. Once that was dry, I just stuck the miniature on with some super glue. I actually wouldn't have done this way. I was trying to in a bit of a hurry, and I probably would have stuck the miniature on first and then sprinkle with the sand afterwards, maybe when I finish. That's what I normally do. I thought I'd try this way to do it. I'm not sure it was the best way. Some of the miniatures I did, obviously doing painting 10 of these, they didn't actually stick as well as I would like. First thing I did was dry brush with some dark sea green, some Vallejo dark sea green. When you dry brush, you take an old brush or a tough brush, a cheap brush, and then you put the paint on it. Then you rub most of the paint off onto a tissue, and then you lightly dust it across the top of the area that you want to paint, and you find you catch the highlights of it, and it sticks out there, so you can see at the very top of it. It's very subtly grey. And then on for the coat, I've done the same thing, but this is Vallejo's Burnt Umber, and this is very heavy dry brush. I didn't worry too much if I hadn't got all the paint off the paintbrush. In my test dry brushing, I did actually use Rynos hide first and then burnt umber over the top of it, but I found as I went through the miniatures that I was doing, it didn't actually make much difference. So this is just pure burnt umber straight over the black. As you can see, in the recesses you've still got the black, but you've got the nice brown sort of leathery, battered leather looking on the coat on the rest of it. So I'm really pleased with how this turned out. It's probably worth mentioning that it's quite hard to be accurate with the dry brushing. You do need to be as accurate as you can, but the advantage of this scheme, with it being kind of muddy and dirty, is if you do get a bit of brown on the grey, it doesn't matter too much. So another advantage of this kind of muddy paint scheme. Next up, I painted the trousers. Now the trousers were again using a Vallejo paint, and because I wanted to sort of be vaguely true to the source material, though I think it may be a different era, I used German uniform for the trousers, which is sort of greeny colour, and again another Vallejo paint. Next up was the metalwork, and for this I used a Scale Colour paint. I used one of their from their metallic range, and this one is called Dark Metal. It can sort of be hard to tell which bits are meant to be metal for this model, but I've definitely sort of gone with the gunwork, and then I also added a few kind of highlights on the armour highlights to the gunmetal, so I've just kind of brushed them gently as though the paint or whatever has been scratched off to show through the metal, and I've done a few little details on the backpack. It doesn't really matter what you choose, anything that looks like it could be vaguely metal, just give it a little light touch of metal, then when we put the wash over it later it'll all kind of blend in and look pretty good, I think. For the face mask, I've used Vallejo Flat Earth, just kind of brushed lightly over the top, a sort of slightly damp dry brush, if that makes sense. It's just gently brushed over, just to leave the black and the recesses, but just give the extra little bit of different colour to the face. I had originally planned to leave it black, but it actually make the face a bit more of a focal point. I've given it a little bit more colour so it stands out from the rest of the model. It's still quite a drab brown, but just a little bit brighter than the other greens and browns in the miniature. Speaking of adding a focal point, it's a little motif. I think Gaze Workshop use it. I like to use it too. A bit of red on the gun. I've used deep red, but you could also use Khorne red from Citadel. Deep red is a scale colour paint, and I really like their red range. So this is a nice deep red to give the gun a little bit of colour, and again add another little focal point to the miniature. Next comes the Agrax Earthshade wash. This is a Citadel paint, just a liberal brown wash over the whole miniature. Tones down the metal, tones down the red, gives the whole thing a drab effect. Actually, not that pronounced. I'm just looking back at this now. It doesn't look that pronounced in the video. It's more pronounced, I think, in the flesh. But there it is. It's just an Agrax Earthshade wash. And when that's dry, you might decide you want to add another one, or you could just leave it at that and finish off the base, which is what I did. First up, we just add some dark sea green, the Vallejo paint onto the base. Then we wash that grey with some 50-50 mix of Nuln Oil and Agrax Earthshade. Again, you might want 1 or 2 coats of this. And then once that's dry, I apply a quick dry brush of just plain heavy blue grey, just a light grey over the top of the darker grey with the wash, just to make it stand out. And then at the end, I just paint the base rim black just to finish it off, neaten everything up. And that's that. That is my Death Korps Krieg. Very quick. Like I say, I think that was about 15-20 minutes work for one model. You can add some extra detail, maybe some highlights on some of the raised areas, which I have done with the model, which you can look at here. So here I've just lightened up the red. You can reapply the base coats on the top edges. I've lightened up the red with a little bit of yellow, and I also used some fresh silver over on the top parts of the gun, and I had a little skeleton bone ivory to the trouser colour green, just to give it a lighter edge on the creases and on the knee. So that's it. That's my very quick paint scheme for a Death Korps Krieg from the new Kill Team Octarius box set. Like I say, it's very simple. I'm not the best of painters, but I'm quite pleased with the way this turned out. So I hope you enjoy this video. Hope you found it useful. I'm sure many of you out there will do better schemes than this, but this is a quick and easy one, particularly if you're only a beginner painter. Very limited paint palette, and I think the end result is pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing the whole team on the table. Do check us out on Instagram, Agents of Sigmar. You will see the whole team going on there. It's nearly finished now. And if you do enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Please do comment and let us know what you think of Kill Team. Let us know what you're going to do with your Death Korps. I'm quite looking forward to doing some more expanded additions, and maybe some new recruits, and maybe some different colour schemes. So we'll see how we go. But until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you soon on the Agents of Sigmar. Bye!